Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today I'm bringing you the third set of games from the Danish National Championship Pokkén Tournament competition. It was unofficial, but it was good fun, and we are back with the third video. And here we are starting off with a game. We have got Yonas playing Pikachu Libre. We saw him win in the first video, lose in the second, win in the third. We've seen him a couple of times, and he is going to be going up against Patrick and his Mewtwo. We saw Patrick losing with a Charizard in the very first video. We haven't seen him since. We are in the losers bracket, ladies and gentlemen. That means both of these players are one loss away from being eliminated. So, we've already seen Yonas win twice. We've not seen Patrick win yet. One of these players is going to be knocked out of the tournament in very short order indeed. And we are off, and we see some side ranged attacks from Pikachu Libre. Comes in with the follow-up there to get us into duel phase, and in comes Mewtwo. Tries a Hyper Beam, but Pikachu Libre avoids it and then comes back with the counter. And there we see Pikachu Libre coming in with his Wild Charge, or as I like to call it, his Stone Cold Stunner, but Mewtwo comes in with that jumping attack, and again, but it's blocked by Pikachu Libre, who comes back in with the counter. And coming in there with that Wild Charge again, and that is all it takes for Yonas and his Pikachu Libre to go one game up here. Now, we did see him take down Magnus and his Blaziken in the first video, and Marley and his Machamp in the third, so Yonas a little bit of success already. And he calls in Diglett to use Dig, but unfortunately Mewtwo jumps away from it and comes in with that jumping strong attack, which he is starting to favour now. He's hit a number of times with it, and unfortunately he is walking into the counters of Pikachu Libre occasionally. But in comes Pikachu Libre again with that Wild Charge attack that a lot of Pikachu Libre players really favour. A very nice attack indeed. Oh, and he comes in with a Thunderclap Press here, and he hits with the Thunderclap Press, and we are going to see the full animation. This is very nice from Yonas here. He hit beautifully with that, and I don't think this game is going to go on for much longer if Yonas carries on like he has. A little bit of a double team there just to confuse Mewtwo and get out the way, dashing to the left as he does so. We do see Mewtwo coming in with the Focus Blast, but unfortunately he doesn't really hit with that, and Pikachu Libre here, lots of caginess going on. Mewtwo does come in and get us back into duel phase, but Pikachu Libre comes in here. Now Frogadier is coming out, but it's not doing very much unfortunately. And Mewtwo, he's going to try for the Side Disaster. If he hits with that, he is going to end this particular round. But no, Pikachu Libre just jumps straight through it. Avoids the Hyper Beam, hits with a counter attack briefly, and we have got both players on the ropes here. Pikachu Libre especially, he's down to one hit point. Can he finish off this round? He cannot take a single hit here, and he's just jumping around. He's trying to make sure he does not get hit by Mewtwo. He cannot afford to, and he doesn't. He takes the round beautifully there. A flying press from Pikachu Libre to end this round, and Yonas goes forward again. Now here we've got Ufa playing Blaziken and a new player, and we've got Rasmus and his Chandelure. Now we saw Rasmus take down Quang Sepdal in the first video. We saw him losing to Simon's Pikachu Libre in the second, and then beating Sebastian's Mewtwo in the third. So we've got a couple winners bracket matches coming up for you, ladies and gentlemen, but we are in the losers bracket here. We've got Rasmus, who, bit of a favourite of mine, he's playing Chandelure, and I like Chandelure. And we've got Ufa, a lovely chap, in his first video. And we see the range attacks from Pikachu, from Chandelure there, but nothing doing. Blaziken comes in, and then he hits the high jump kick a couple of times. A Sky Uppercut there, an enhanced Sky Uppercut that you can do by just charging, and that looked like an enhanced Blaze Kick. And there we see the low defense, the low stamina from Chandelure there. Did not take very much at all for Blaziken to come in and beat him. And now Rasmus is on the ropes. He is just one round away from being knocked out of this tournament. He's going to need to do something here. Now he does get in with those beam attacks, with those ranged attacks, which is very nice. His backwards ranged attack there, just throwing those things out. And then he hits with a forward ranged attack. But for the time being, Blaziken just jumping around, comes in very quickly with some powerful moves. Hits with the high jump kick, and he's going to try and go with some Gatling flame kicks here. His burst attack, he's going to have to do so quickly. Oh, and there he activates the Gatling flame kicks. He's too far away though. And Rasmus and his Chandelure are trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. So Chandelure again using those beam attacks to great effect, but Blaziken jumps over and in comes Reshiram with Blue Flare. A very powerful attack, but unfortunately the players have immunity when they're on the floor. But we see the final flicker here from Chandelure, his burst attack, and Rasmus hits very nicely with this. It's not quite going to get a KO, but Blaziken is not going to be far off at all here. Now Chandelure, he's got Blaziken down to 15 HP, and that backwards ranged attack knocks him out of the air and evens this one up at 1 apiece. Very nice play from Rasmus there. He was about to be eliminated from the tournament, and he came back with a fantastic battle in that last round. And he starts off like he does every round with those projectile attacks, but Blaziken just uses that air dash over him, then jumps under, and we see that Rasmus trying to use a range of projectiles there, but we saw Ufa go over and then under the projectiles as he needed to. And now he's coming in with Blaziken's powerful attacks, and Chandelure is very, very much on the ropes here. He does call in Reshiram to get that blue flare going. Is he going to be able to block it? Yes, he is, which is very, very useful indeed. And then hits Chandelure out of the air with that enhanced sky uppercut. And that is it. Rasmus has been in all the videos so far. Rasmus in all 4 videos, but unfortunately will not be coming back. Now we have a winner's bracket match, the debut of Nemo and his Weavile against Alexander L and his Mewtwo. We saw Alexander L beat Patrick and his Charizard in the first video. We saw him take down Alex S and his Gardevoir in the second video. So we are seeing a new player in the winner's bracket in Nemo and his Weavile, and we are seeing a player in Alex L and his Mewtwo that we have seen in all 3 previous videos, and might I add, being successful and winning in 2, I should say, 2 of the 3 previous videos. So who is going to come out on top here? Now we do see Mewtwo coming in with a ranged attack and the link up very quickly, and the Fire Ice Thunder Punch combination there tries the Hyper Beam, but it does get blocked, and there we just see some Fury Swipes coming in from Weavile there, trying to get a little bit of damage going, getting us back into field phase, and then straight back into dual phase on the attack here. Uses the Icicle Crash to hit Mewtwo there and jump around in the air, and we see the Synergy Burst. He's going to be looking for a Sonic Slash, but Mewtwo comes in with the Psy Strike final blow and then tries a Hyper Beam, which is blocked. Now we see the Weavile coming in very aggressively, calls in the Cubone and takes advantage of Mewtwo's block, and then comes in with that attack to take Mewtwo down and take a 1-0 lead here. Very nicely indeed, and like so many players we saw at the Italian National Championships this past weekend, he is going for Diglett and his Dig attack. Oh, but Mewtwo, no respect, just knocks him straight into dual phase with that attack, and then Hyper Beam straight back into field phase. Weavile does not like that, calls in Diglett for the Diglett Dig, and you just see Mewtwo backing off there before he comes in aggressively when the Diglett is no longer looking like a problem. Now we see Evil Tal and his Oblivion Wing attack, and Mewtwo tries to follow up there with that Hyper Beam. He is coming in, and Weavile is already 1 round up here. He is trying to finish this one off. And I should remind you, we are in a best of 3 here. We have switched from a regular best of 3 into a best of 3, and Weavile, oh, he's actually on the back foot here. He's down to just 69 hit points, and he is going to need to try and get back into this as he goes with the knockoff, calls in the Diglett, and here's a Sonic Slash, and he finishes with the Sonic Slash. That was beautiful play there from Weavile and from Nemo. So he goes 1 set up, but now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, as I just said, we are no longer in a best of 3. In the early rounds, due to time constraints, we just played a best of 3. Here, however, we have got far enough along in the tournament. This is the first time we had the time to do a best of three. That means that winning one set, one best of three, is not going to be enough. It is all about winning a second. So here we go here. Nemo is one set up, and he's straight on the attack as the aggressor to begin here. And Mewtwo tries those punch combinations, and there we go. Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, takes the lead, hits with that Hyper Beam, knocks into Field Phase. Tries it again, but it's got a narrow beam, has that Hyper Beam, but it does not matter. We see the ranged attack with the follow-up and a very, very quick one-game advantage from the Mewtwo here. So here we go. Weavile comes in using Icicle Crash to get over Mewtwo, get in nice and close, and then calls in Diglett to do a little bit of digging. And he does, but unable to hit Mewtwo out of the air there and carry that on. He is trying the knockoff, but it's not quite working for the time being. He does get those Fury Swipes and he tries a Sonic Slash, but Mewtwo has got his block out and it is not going to hit. The Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch combination from Mewtwo follows up with that Hyper Beam that gets blocked, but in he comes with another combo, finishing off with the Fire, Ice, Thunder Punch combination that a lot of Mewtwo players, myself included, like so much. Now, Weavile and Nemo are very much on the back foot here. They are down to just 41 HP, and in comes Mewtwo, does a lot of chip damage, calls in Latios for the Luster Purge, but Weavile goes straight through it and uses Fury Swipes to win the round and even us up at 1 round each here. Beautiful play from both players, and Weavile selects that Cubone. He is going to be going for it. He wants to win here. I don't suppose we can really blame them very much, can we? So we see both players coming in close here. Mewtwo taking the early advantage. Fire, Ice, Thunder Punch combination, and he hits with the Hyper Beam, which always gives us a phase change and does right there into Field Phase. Weavile uses Icicle Crash, but Mewtwo knocks him out the air and calls in Evil Towel for that Oblivion Wing attack, forcing the Weavile to block and call in a Cubone of his own. He then goes for the Sonic Slash, but he's too far away, and Mewtwo comes in with one hit and evens us up here at 1 set apiece. We are going to the decider. Our first best of three, and we are going to a decider here. We saw what Nemo and Weavile were trying to do there. Weavile's Sonic Slash is a burst attack which has a lot of vertical height but not a lot of horizontal reach. So what he was trying to do there was use the Cubone to pull Mewtwo in close enough so that he could then use that Sonic Slash and do a huge amount of damage. An admirable thing to try. It didn't work, but an admirable thing to try nonetheless. So, there we see the side ranged attacks, which is usually the go-to move at the beginning of round for every Weavile, but Mewtwo comes in close and gets the first attack, knocks us into Duel Phase. He's trying to use those Fire, Ice, Thunder Punch, and he does hit with one there very nicely. Tries the Hyper Beam, but Weavile is already on the ground and hits him with a low, strong attack, comes in, does a Weavile, and very nicely just hitting him there. Now we see the Focus Blast from Mewtwo, and we see a Hyper Beam, puts us back into Duel Phase. And both players are down on low health, but it's Weavile who's on the lowest health here. Nemo is in danger of going down into the loser's bracket. He calls in Diglett to do a bit of the old digging, but Mewtwo holds the guard for just long enough, hits him with a Thunder Punch for the win, doesn't even need the Fire Punch. He doesn't even need the Ice or Thunder Punch to finish it off. We now have match point for the Mewtwo. He's won a set, he's won a round, and he is not messing about here. Coming in using those same combos to great effect as he has the whole time. Weavile tries that low strong attack, but as he's getting up, he is defenseless against the Hyper Beam. And now Mewtwo and Alex L are off. They have got a huge life lead here. And it's just an Icicle Crash from Weavile. Goes over, but then jumps down into Mewtwo. Uses the Synergy Burst. Tries to knock off. But in comes Mewtwo. Hits him. Gets the Fire, Ice, Thunder Punch combination. Uses Hyper Beam, but it gets blocked. And that second Hyper Beam does not get blocked. Alex L is the winner. He moves on through the winner's bracket. But don't worry, Nemo is still here. We've now got the debut of Axel on the stream and his Blaziken, and we've got Simon and his Pikachu Libre. Now, we've already seen Simon in the second video. We saw him take down Rasmus's Chandelure. And how awesome is it that we're now, 4 videos in, we're starting to see the players come round again. We're starting to know the players. I'm hoping you guys who are watching this are starting your favourites. Let's have a hashtag of your favourite in the comment section. That's how the internet works. So, we've got Simon and his Pikachu Libre, and we have got Axel and his Blaziken. And we are in a best of three here. So, we are starting off here, and we see Axel and his Blaziken trying a bit of a range game, trying to work in close, but in comes Pikachu Libre. He is on the back foot, but he's not taken much damage, and he comes in with a counter attack there, and then he just gets himself a grab attack very nicely, knocks us back into the field phase. Now he comes in with that combo. He is very much the aggressor here, trying to come in with those attacks. It's not working, but a counter attack does work, and it's actually a wild charge, or as I like to call it, a stone cold stunner. He comes in, he knocks Blaziken against the wall, juggles him in the air a little bit. He's trying for the wild charge, it doesn't work, and Blaziken gets the grab attack going. He's trying to even it up here, brings in Togekiss to get a burst of speed, but Frogadier comes with those ranged attacks and just knocks Blaziken out of the air, and Blaziken drops his guard just for a second and allows Simon to get the hit and take the 1-0 lead here. Very nice play from Simon. Now, we do see the Blaziken player again going for this Togekiss. He wants that burst of speed that all these Blaziken players covet. He's trying to work in, but he gets knocked out of the air by Pikachu, who just comes in. But then we see the Brave Bird coming in from Blaziken. Now he's trying to blaze kicks and hitting with a few of those, and he is trying to take the lead here. He has taken the lead, in fact. He's got the life lead. Tries a bit of a heat wave there, which doesn't unfortunately hit, and now both players are being a little bit cagey. Blaziken and Axel there get the grab on the Pikachu Libre, very much in the lead here. So Pikachu Libre call in the Frogadier and then go and get a little bit of a combo on the Blaziken. Pikachu uses his Synergy Burst and comes straight in to try the Thunderclap Press. It is unsuccessful, unfortunately. And now we get Blaziken doing his Synergy Burst, calls in Togekiss for another burst of speed, and he's going to be looking for the Gatling Flame Kicks, but it's a wild charge from Pikachu Libre. And unfortunately, the video is about to cut out. My apologies. We had technical problems on this round, so let me fill you in. Simon won 2-0. We see him carrying on in the winner's bracket as Axel falls into the loser's bracket. This is not the last video from the Danish Pokkén Tournament National Championships, ladies and gentlemen, so please keep tuning in to future videos. There's a comment section. Put some comments, there's a like button, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it, and if you haven't subscribed yet, why do you hate me? But I will of course forgive you if you go ahead and subscribe very soon. I'm going to be back with more Pokkén Tournament and Pokemon TCG videos in the very near future, but until then, the most important thing is always, look after yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.